Good morning. Day 4 from Silers Bald Shelter. Last night was pretty calm. There was a runner that came through around 7 o'clock. He stopped to eat some food, but had more miles to do for the day, so he kept moving. There was a deer that was lingering in the area for probably 20 minutes or so, pretty close to the shelter. I'd say within 10 feet at times. Got a photo of it that I'll include here. And otherwise, I decided to eat one of the meals that was left here, so I didn't need to carry it out. And earlier, I had previously already eaten one of the chicken packets with a tortilla that I had. So, yeah, my plan was to carry out all the food and the trash that I found here at Newfound Gap. That way, it's not going to attract any bear activity. And last night I slept good when I was able to sleep. There was a lot of mice activity on the tin roof, and I don't know how mice make so much noise, but they were quite noisy. And just in general, heard some other noises outside, big crash of some sort. Turned on my headlight at that point because it sounded large, but never saw anything, never heard anything more. Otherwise, just standard sounds of nature and slept well. So, ready for the day. Just need to get packed up, have my coffee, and get on the move. Looks like the same one from last night. I just walked by after using the outdoor restroom, and it could care less that I was there. I was just sitting here at the corner bench of the shelter, looking at the sun rays coming through as the sun's coming up, and kind of just reflecting on everything thus far. And it was so awesome. I heard a coyote howl twice. Sounded pretty close. I'm guessing within a quarter mile away. I've heard them a lot at Fontana Dam. Nothing really from Russell Field Shelter. And this is only a few times that I've heard it here from Silers Bald. All right, just leaving Silers Bald Shelter right at 8:30. Seem to leave at 8:30 every day. I'm not a morning person. I like to wake up and just not really do a whole lot very fast. And that whole practice has translated to the trail too. But overall, it works because I'm moving pretty quick during the day. Going through the car wash here this morning. It was humid last night. The fog was present this morning, and the vegetation is soaking wet. Contemplated wearing my rain gear because I knew I was walking through this, but I also thought it might feel good. And I knew it was sunny and I'd dry off quick, so I elected just to wear my shorts. Anyway, Silers Bald is up next, and long way uphill to Klingman's Dome today. Sometimes it's good just to stop and turn around and see what's behind you. As I'm going higher in elevation, I'm starting to notice more conifer trees appear. It's really interesting to me how the environment just changes with elevation. Conifer trees are getting even more dominant at this elevation. It's also so cool to me how the smells change as the vegetation changes. And the trail conditions change too. Trail's all of a sudden not overgrown in the slightest, which is quite nice. I just filled up water at Double Spring Gap Shelter, and I really like the vibes of this shelter. Nice clearing straight ahead with some views.
within a few hundred yards from Double Spring Gap Shelter, everything just changes so dramatically. It's pretty much all conifer forest at this point. This is my type of trail right here. Not too many rocks, nice sandy soil, super easy to walk on. Klingman's Dome, 2.2 miles. Sorry, Alicia, I think I'm gonna have better weather than you. Looking towards Klingman's Dome, 0.9 miles ahead. Here at Klingman's Dome, got lucky with the weather. Got some clouds building in that are hung up on the side of the mountain, but overall, very clear, great visibility. All right, back on the Appalachian Trail, just left Klingman's Dome. For holiday week, I suppose it wasn't too crowded up there, and unlike Alicia, I got lucky with the views. Got an amazing view towards the east with a cloud wall building from the west that was hung up on the mountain ridge, and can't really beat that. All right, so I forgot to mention Klingman's Dome is actually the third highest peak east of the Mississippi, and it is the highest point along the Appalachian Trail. Many people think Katahdin's the highest, but Klingman's Dome is actually higher. I spent a lot of time really taking in the views today, and I need to pick up the pace. It is 12:40, and I still have 9.7 miles to go. So I'm gonna try and keep on moving from here on out. Headed to Icewater Springs Shelter tonight. Been on a steeper section of trail with some water bars, and I realized yesterday I never actually pointed out what they were. So here at the turn, you have one. Essentially, it's a buildup of either logs or rocks that are constructed angled across the trail, and it diverts water flow off the trail instead of continuing down. Oftentimes they're on straightaway sections, like right here. This is a small one, but it shoots the water off that direction. See if there's any more up ahead. Yeah, so right here's another one. And really, it prevents the trail from eroding out as water continues to run down it. Got 4.5 miles to Newfound Gap. There, I will be emptying out my trash, including the trash that I packed out from Silers Bald Shelter this morning. So reduce my pack weight ever so slightly and make this just a little bit easier. Just went through a fence area with a platform of sorts. I'm assuming to prevent wildlife from passing through. But anyway, there was a sign on the other side that said beach forest exclosure. I think that was the last word. Are these beech trees? I'm assuming they are. Up here at Newfound Gap, definitely lots of people up here. A little bit more than Klingman's Dome. It's kind of strange being around people after not being around them for a few days. A little bit of a shock to your system. Anyway, got 3 miles left to Icewater Spring Shelter. Coming out of Newfound Gap, there's a lot of big rocks that weren't present prior to the road crossing. I find it quite interesting how the trail abruptly changed from that perspective. I wouldn't say it's scrambly, but bigger steps, like up ahead up here. So I just stumbled across a hiker wearing a Penn State shirt, and that got me all excited. If anyone knows me well, I'm a huge Penn State fan. Actually watched the game against West Virginia Saturday from Fontana Dam Shelter. Part of the reason I wanted to stay there was because I thought it had service and I thought this charging station would be functional. Both were, in fact, accurate, and it was a good time. All right, so I am at Icewater Spring Shelter. There's nobody here, which is fine by me. And so far, this is my favorite shelter, and this is why. All right, so figure I'd give a recap of the day since I didn't do so when I first got here. Ended up making up a good amount of time and only ended up getting here 45 minutes later than what I was hoping for. Overall, the day was 15.13 miles and just about 4,200 vertical feet. Currently, there's supposed to be 2 people staying here, I've been told by Alicia, but no one's here yet. It's currently 7 o'clock, and I guess there's still some time, so we'll see if anyone shows up tonight. Good morning, day 5 on trail. Just filled up at Icewater Springs Shelter. This is the spring just north of the trail, and it is ice cold, hence the name Icewater Springs Shelter. And what an awesome morning. Woke up at 6:30 and noticed just bright red glow coming into the shelter. And I was like, all right, I'm getting up. I'm gonna just stand and watch the sunrise for 40 minutes. And that's exactly what I did. And it was amazing. And yeah, I don't know. So today's a little bit easier day. Got 13 miles, less elevation. Ultimately headed to Tri-Corner Knob Shelter. There's supposed to be people there tonight. Last I had seen, the shelter is apparently supposed to be full. So we'll see how many people are actually there. There ended up being 3 more people that showed up to Icewater Spring Shelter last night. So had some good company, good conversation, and overall got some solid sleep last night. The weather this morning, I don't know if it could get any better than this for September in the Smoky Mountains. It's like perfect temperature. I'm thinking it's probably in the upper 50s, and the humidity is super low. None of the vegetation's even wet. There's a cool breeze. I don't know. I don't think it gets any better than this. Headed out to Charlie's Bunyan right now. It's 0.9 miles north of Icewater Spring Shelter. Apparently this is some of the best views in the area. Excited to check it out. Yeah, the views here at Charlie's Bunyan are absolutely incredible. I've been sitting here by myself for the past 20 minutes thinking about everything and how last year Alicia was here on my birthday. And it's kind of cool to think that I'm here now. And also, this is the first day that I've had clear views looking in the westward direction. So I'm happy for that. Three and a half weeks ago, I completed Eastern States 100, which is a trail race in north central Pennsylvania that circumnavigates the Pine Creek Gorge. In total, it's 103 miles and racks up just under 22,000 vertical feet. Not bringing this up to brag or anything like that, but really, I just wanted to bring it up because I want to show to you that you too are capable of doing big things if you want to, whether it's an endurance thing or a logistical thing. If you want to tackle something, really, your mind is your biggest limiting factor. If you can train your mind to believe in yourself, you can accomplish it. Yeah, Eastern States 100 was really hard during the race, and it took a lot of training to get myself in physical and mental condition to be able to complete it. But in the end, I take on these big objectives because during the challenge, I feel that's like when you can learn the most about yourself, when you really need to dig deep and really, grasp at everything within you to finish something. That's when you truly learn what you're capable of. And that's why I do those things. A lot of people say they could never do it, but really, I think they could if they wanted to. Not everybody wants to do that sort of thing, and I get that. Being out here on trail for these past 5 days has allowed me to process stuff internally and kind of reset. And I think I've come up with some good ways to help lower the stress that I deal with on a daily basis. A lot of it self-inflicted stress. And I'm looking forward to hopefully turning the corner and, in a way, living a new life moving forward with a lot less stress on me. You can just get so connected out here. You got the sights, the sounds, the smells, the tastes. I'm not that backcountry savvy, so I'm not gonna attest to that. But I just touched some wet bark, and man, I just felt so freaking connected. I had this wild sense, this feeling just take over me. It was just absolutely amazing. And that's why I come out here, out into the outdoors. All right, I am at the intersection of Peck's Corner Shelter. I've gone 7.6 miles so far on the day. It's only 12:30, and I also only have 5.2 miles remaining. There's some elevation, but not too much. Overall, this has been my favorite day on trail. It's high up on the ridgeline, and oh man, the views, the vibes, everything about it is just so amazing. I love it. This is exactly what I wanted out of being out here. I just wish more people could experience this sort of thing. It is so incredible. I'm only 4.3 miles from Tri-Corner Knob Shelter. Haven't eaten lunch yet, so figured I'd take a break. Found this awesome little spot to have my buffalo chicken wrap. And from here, the views are pretty incredible. So I'm just gonna take it in and enjoy my lunch. Been huffing it up this second to last push before getting to Tri-Corner Knob Shelter. And it's definitely beautiful, but also challenging. I'm ready to get to the shelter and just relax. All right, guys, we are 1.6 miles from Tri-Corner Knob Shelter. Got one more push uphill. So far, it's not super steep. I'm happy about that. And then a little bit of a downhill to the shelter. All right, made it to Tri-Corner Knob Shelter. Just under 3 o'clock. Been out for just over 6.5 hours. Looking at 12.64 miles and 31.28 vertical feet. Curious if anyone's here yet. Stopped at the intersection and didn't hear any voices. Nope, no one here. And pretty clean. Even got a little bit of a view out that direction. All right, guys, here's the bear hang cable system at Tri-Corner Knob Shelter. Show you how this is worked. I've already hung my food bag on the hook. Grab the opposite handle and pull it up, and use these handholds so you don't have to grab the cable. Grab the hook here and clip it. Now your food's up high so the bears can't get it. Good morning, guys. Day 6 from trail. Just left Tri-Corner Knob Shelter. Last night was some really enlightening conversation. There were 3 people there, all from different backgrounds, all out here for different purposes. But just their viewpoints in life and what life should be really resonated with my views, and really learned a lot from each of them. And it was really just a cool experience, and it's just another awesome thing that being out here offers. I am heading out today, hiking to my car at Standing Bear Hostel. 18-mile plus day and over 6,000 vertical feet to descend. So big day going downhill, big miles. It rained really hard last night, right as we were going to sleep at 8:30, but the trail's surprisingly dry at the moment. So excited for the day, excited for the new experiences. Before coming down here to the Smokies, I didn't really fully know what to expect. But really, the experiences that I gained from being out here the past 6 days are things I'll take with me forever. I've learned so much. I've experienced so many new feelings being out here solo for this amount of time that I haven't previously felt in my life. I didn't know this was possible to experience in only 6 days, but really it is. And I don't know, I guess the point of me bringing this up is if you're able to do so, I would highly recommend taking on this sort of objective, getting away from everything familiar for a week's worth of time and just living in the woods, living in your own thoughts, and experiencing everything that nature and the trail has to offer you. In my training for running, I really try and focus on the experience of each day, because if you're only focused on the objective, the race in my case, you never know if you're going to achieve it. The race could be canceled, you could be injured, or any other thing could happen. Being out here has really reinforced that thought to me. There was so much that I experienced each and every day out here that was so unique. Each day offered something totally brand new to me. And I'm bringing this up because I know a lot of people watch Alicia's channel that have through hiked and maybe they didn't meet their end objective, or maybe they're considering through hiking. And I think it's really important to focus on each and every day and not the overall objective of finishing the trail. If you're only focused on finishing it, you'll miss out on so much in between. And really, going out there and trying it is all that matters. Stepping foot on that trail, stepping into the unknown, that's the success. It's not finishing the trail itself. For a while now, I've thought that those of you who are out here doing long sections of trail or a through hike, that your accomplishment is equally as impressive as doing a long distance trail run. And the reason I say that is because you're out here doing big days, you're setting up camp, you're sleeping out in the elements, you're tearing down camp, and you're repeating that process for however long you're out here. Yeah, maybe the physical challenges of doing a long trail run exceed that of section or through hiking, but I do believe the mental challenges of being out here on trail for a long period of time, facing all of that, exceed what you're faced with during a long trail run. During a long trail run, you're kind of blasted with a lot of the same challenges, but you're only out there for a day and a half, maybe a few days, whatever it may be. And I'm just very impressed with those of you who've done long sections of trail or completed a trail, including my wife last year. My hat's off to you guys. And honestly, I think anyone who steps foot out on trail or outside in general and pushes themselves in any way, that's impressive. That's what's important. All right, guys, I'm here at Cosby Knob Shelter. Just filtered some water there and had some lunch. Now gonna make my way back onto the trail, short side trail, back to it. All right, so I am up here at the Mount Cameron Fire Tower. I initially got to the cutoff for the Fire Tower Trail, and I started going down the Appalachian Trail because it was raining, and it started raining even harder. But, you know, that's totally against everything I live by. You never know unless you go and try. And, man, this is incredible being up here. I've had some awesome views with ominous weather in the past, and I was hoping that this would be similar. I've been up here for a little while. I had to wait, but, man, this is awesome. Just like that, the view's going to be gone soon. I'm down a little bit lower now off of Mount Cameron Fire Tower, but I hung out up there for quite a while. The views continued to come and go, and overall were really good. And I'm down here at another lookout, and it's clearing up nicely. Got 7.1 miles to my car at Standing Bear Hostel. I was told that all of this stonework to my right, which is a retaining wall, was done by the Civilian Conservation Corps way back when all that work was taking place. And it's holding up very nicely. Quite impressive. Forgot how the north side of the Smokies had pine trees. I noticed this last year when I was on trail with Alicia just north of this area. There's also no greenery on the sides of the trail. It's just the rhododendron, probably from the pine needles. It's crazy how the vegetation changes so drastically from the south side to the higher elevations and now to the north side, but we're at a lower elevation. My favorite pine tree, eastern white pine. All right, guys, so I only have 4 miles left to Standing Bear Hostel, and I just wanted to take a moment to express how grateful I am to have been able to walk this section of the Appalachian Trail. And I hope you guys enjoyed following along and me sharing my insight and perspective on being on the trail. And I'll definitely check in once more, at least at the parking lot where my car is. There was my first bear sighting. Looked like a young one, to keep a watch for if mama bear's around. I left Fontana Dam 72.4 miles south of here on Sunday, and today is Thursday. I have 1.9 more miles to hike to Interstate 40, and then a little bit left to Standing Bear Hostel. All right, back to civilization. Cross this bridge, go under Interstate 40, hop on the trail briefly, and take the road up to the hostel. All right, this is the final white blaze for my Smoky Mountain section hike. This is where it all started last year when I joined Alicia on her through hike attempt, and I hiked down to this spot to make sure I connected it. All right, guys, just got back to my car at Standing Bear Hostel as it's starting to rain again. Overall, the day was 19.71 miles, just under 3,000 vertical feet and almost 7,000 feet of descent. Big day downhill. Thank you so much for following along on my Smoky Mountain section hike. I hope you enjoyed it.